For today's video, we'll go over some defender mid-price options. So a few interesting options here. Still need a bit more info, but the players that I definitely want to watch over that Amy Community Series we'll go over. And yeah, it can be a little bit hard. I think a lot of us are locking in Laird and Lloyd. I've seen a few people who don't want to pay for Lloyd. And then the next few options, it's pretty difficult, and we don't know the rookies that are going to come through just yet. Still need more info on them. So people might be looking to mid-prices. So we'll discuss those options today. So we won't be speaking about Williams and Duggan. You probably know how I feel about Williams, too injury prone, and Duggan. Not sure how long he stays in the midfield, but need to see a bit more from Duggan in the Amy series rather. But looking good so far, but yeah, a little risky. So the first player we'll go over today though is James Harmes from Melbourne. So Harmes is 25, pretty much in his prime. A lot of the other guys I've discussed are a fair bit younger, but nonetheless, James Harmes averaged 95 in 2019, I think it was 83 in 2018. So put up pretty good numbers in the midfielders so far. Played defence last year, didn't work as he said in an interview. But this year, he's training with a midfield group. And apparently from reading, I think Demonland's forums, it's a forum for diehard Melbourne supporters. Hopefully that bunch is going to see some success sometime soon. It's been a long time waiting. But yeah, they said that one person said that he's back to his best. I know it's only training, but played really well at training in the intra-club, I think. I believe he rested half forward flank as well. My issue is how much does he play mid, how much does he play half forward? Because they have Oliver, Petrarca, Brayshaw and Viney in front of him. So I assume he's a fifth string midfielder, so is he going to be like a 60-40 forward mid-split? Does he go back to the defence? Surely not. So showing he could score. But yeah, I've watched some tapes of James Harmes because I didn't really notice him a few years ago. Has a bit of acceleration through the midfield, kick a few snags I think as well. So I did like the look of him. Contested ball work seems pretty good as well. So I think what happens with James Harmes, if Viney and Brayshaw are injured right now, if Viney has more complications with his foot and he's out for like half a season, I might pick Harmes. I think that's what I need to see. I just need to see how much mid-time he gets with all the other players in the team. But the problem is I'm not sure Viney and Brayshaw are going to play in the pre-season, but if they do, we'll get a better look at that. So keep an eye on James Harmes. He's a proven scorer. He's 95 average, and now he's a defender. That's acceptable for a defender, I think. Maybe a D5, D6, especially because we have a fair bit of quality this year. But for 350k, you could sneak in a potential keeper here. So he also has the last buy, so could flip him if it doesn't work out, or just because you need an extra player in that buy. The last buy will be very difficult for us, so keep an eye on James Harmes. I like the look of him. Maybe if an injury to Gus or Viney, and then we consider him a bit more, but yeah, just want to see how much mid-time he gets with everyone in the team. So hopefully that happens. The next player we'll discuss is... Who have we got here? Okay, we'll speak about two players at once, and it's the Giants' Lockie Ash and Isaac Cumming. Okay, so Lockie Ash will start off with. Lockie Ash is a more talented player, pick 4, still very young, he's 19, Cumming is 22, but what we like in the pre-season is when players get singled out, then it gives a little bit of reassurance, but still need more info, because anyone can say anyone's doing good really. So yeah, Matt DeBoer in a Giants video, we've gotten like no Giants content so far, but we finally got some on pre-season, and Lockie Ash apparently was one of the standouts at training, according to Matt DeBoer, along with Tom Green, who we'll speak about more in another video, which is good to hear. But here's the thing with the Giants, right? Whitfield's injured. Aiden Core, who took some kickouts, is gone. Zach Williams is gone. Heath Shaw's gone. Who's going to score points down there? Lockie Ash and Cumming, this is their time. The points are theirs, but again, they're very inexperienced at AFL level, and coming at AFL level, he's been Shaw and Williams and Whitfield have been there to take all the points, so he hasn't really had much opportunity there. But now, who's taking those points in defence? I'm not sure. It's theirs if they want it. Maybe I'm missing someone, I'm not sure. But the 4 outs, I suppose Lockie Whitfield will come back in eventually, but still. Does Ash take kickouts? He's a really good kick, really good rebounder, and really good interceptor. So, I know Haynes is the main intercept guy there, but still. Cummings I'm a little not sure on. I wasn't too impressed with him, but he scored hundreds in the pre-season. But that's when a lot of the older players did not play. So with these two players, I want to see it. I want to see how that defence shapes up. Ash is very young, very talented. Might be a little early, but the fact is he did improve as the season went on last year. And yeah, he got singled out by Matt DeBoer. So watch these two. Cummings should be more advanced at his age, I think. He's third or fourth year, I think, in the system. So keep an eye on these two. But yeah, Cumming can play halfback. Ash is the halfback as well. So I think Ash would take the kickouts over Cumming. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see. Again, the opportunity is theirs. Keep an eye on them for now. I wouldn't be planning for them to be in your team right now, but keep an eye on them. The next player we'll speak about, Big Wayne Miller. I don't know how I feel about Wayne Miller. As again, I'm a Crows supporter, so maybe I have a better read on this player, but I watched the full intra-club that they played that was streamed on the website, or the Crows website. I'm lost at what they're doing with Miller. I don't know, and that's the biggest red flag. The two biggest red flags for me for a pick are if you don't know their role and durability. So Wayne Miller already had a small incident, rolled his ankle at training, but he's fine. And durability's been pretty bad over the past few years, with its shoulder, with its soft tissue. Barely played a game last year. He can score though, so we've seen him average 90 something for a half of a season. But again, is he going to play halfback? It looks like McPherson and Smith are settled at halfback. Maybe David McKay comes back in. I don't know why they're persisting with him, but he can play halfback. I think they like Miller's skill set, and they think that it can work in the forward line, but he hasn't really shown a whole lot in the forward line. He's training. I think he's done training with the midfield and the half forward and the forwards. What I've heard, which is really weird because I'm a strong believer that Wayne Miller is a defender. So, yeah, skillful player, can take intercepts. Yeah, I'm not sure. Played his best footy in defence. So again, the injury risk and where the hell was he playing? Because in that intra-club, he played all three positions. I saw him float back in the fourth quarter where he barely got a touch. In the first half, I think he was playing mostly half forward, and then I saw him a bit through the midfield in the second and third quarter, mostly in the second quarter, where he was probably the best on ground in the second quarter. But yeah, he just gets moved around. How are you supposed to... He needs confidence, Wayne Miller, because when he plays poorly, he plays very poorly. He'll drop a few 50s and stuff. So I can't pick Miller. The combination of I'm not sure where he's playing and the injuries, it's just too much. So Wayne Miller, not for me, but wouldn't surprise me if he averaged like 80 or something. The next player we have, actually the final player we have, is Hayden Young. My initial thoughts on Young, my initial feel on Young is he's still very young. Don't excuse the pun there, but he's still 19 and a half, so really young. It feels like he's a little bit raw from what just the read I'm getting from what Freo are saying. Kickouts, I think he shares them with Luke Ryan, so both of them were taking kickouts for opposite teams. Really scored very well in juniors, really high. I think he was like one of the top, over, I think it was 108, I can't remember. It was definitely over 100 average in under 18, so that's good. We know that he can score. Showed that he could score. I think he had 1 or 2 tons last year. But the thing with Hayden Young, again, he had the ankle injury, but he had a limited preseason last year, and early in the season before he had the ankle injury, he was missing games from just soreness. So that says to me that his body wasn't coping with the training loads. So for that reason, his age, he just seems raw for me. So we'll see glimpses of him, not sure what he can do consistently, and again, feels like an injury risk with that limited preseason last year, and just barely got on the park last year. Could be a premium in the future, I think, but for now, feels a little premature. But keep an eye on Hayden Young. Haven't heard great things of the preseason. Have heard that his kicking looks unbelievable, stuff like that, which is what we've been hearing for a few years, even like coming through the draft. So yeah, keep an eye on Hayden Young. I just want to see, I don't know if his body shape's changed or anything, I'm not sure. I want to see him, but the vibe I'm getting is he still feels a little raw. Still learning the craft. So yeah, not sure what he scores this year, but we'll see. So thanks for watching the video. Out of these guys, the only one I'm considering right now is James Harms, and I want to get a look at Ashton Cumming in the preseason. Not considering Miller and not considering Young, mostly because of injury, and I already explained why. But yeah, injury is a big factor with those two. Thanks for watching. Good luck with your defense this year. See how we go, and we'll see you guys soon.